Fuck around and get your dome hit by staring at me. I'm paranoid like I'm on it. So many bricks, I fuck around and make your home flip. Hey, y'all niggas went out there what, nigga? Hey, don't be big brother, you know something, what? I don't believe it. Holding it down out here for you, baby. I swear to God. You see me on shit for real? Hey, you with all my heart, my nigga. You know what we're talking about.
Next we got Halftime, one of my favorites off of DOAT3, and this was one of the songs that was supposed to go on there, unlike some of the other songs that were on there that were not finished. Usually our process was in the studio is that Doe would lay down a hook and verse, collect a whole bunch of those types of songs with the second verse missing from song to song to get more things done. Sometimes he would complete songs in its entirety, and the plan was, and it always has been, is that we comb through all the songs after he works up about a good maybe 30-40 records. We pick the best 20. The other 20 or 10 that didn't make the cut, he'll take the verses from those, match it up with the first 20 that we picked, adds it to the second verse, and then completes the song, which was pretty genius. That's how he amassed a whole bunch of songs. How this beat came about was I found a dude who's ironically named China Boy Beats. I think I found him on Twitter, really can't remember. But I heard beats from him and I was like, man, these are really dope beats. It was time for Doe to kind of switch his style up, or you know, get some new influx of new producers to work with. He didn't ask, but I just happened to stumble on to China Boy. In particular, this one was called Showdown originally. Had a crazy band flavor, and then if you're from Montgomery, the live bands in the high schools was a big thing, and Doe had the high schools sold up, and this beat had a lot of flavor as far as the live snare instrumentation, drum rolls, snare rolls, horns. And Montgomery music scene is known for having horns in their music, and this just made it really official. So knowing that, knowing Doe's style, and which why he named it Halftime, the A&R this song, if it wasn't for me finding China Boy Beats and putting it together with Doe, Halftime would have never happened. So I didn't do much of the beat because there's a lot of changes and dynamics throughout the beat. I had a couple drops already, and I did some EQ automation towards the end of the song.
Thanksgiving bell with no mercy. Hot shit straight out the kitchen, let it burn like Ursula. And that chopper got rhythm, it don't skip a beat. You laid up in a hospital till your shit go beep. Fuck nigga trip Thanksgiving.
So I did a lot of these chops right here, and what I did was, in this case, I believe I put it in 1/64th note, put it in grid mode. I had 2 extra tracks right here, and I panned them hard left and right. Same volume as the main lead. So for now, I'll just duplicate this to show you what I did exactly. What I did was just take this clip of the word, copy it, and pasting. Highlighted the whole thing, which was about right here. Then consolidate the section. Hold down Option, Shift, and 3. Fade when you have the Smart tool on, toggling 3 at a time. Some people just do it individually, and I'm like, you might as well just use the whole thing and learn how to toggle between the 3 Smart tools. Also in the Smart tool, there's a fade cursor that pulls up. Pull the fade over, hit Command =, pan these hard left and right. So that chop on 50 round gives it a feel of an automatic weapon coming in. And then also in the snares that's coming in at the beginning of the song, it allows for me to make the chop like that. So that's another producer type of tip. You just got to know when to do things and how to do it, how much is enough, when to pull back, and when it's not needed. At the time, nobody was doing chops, drops, or anything like that. People would just record, mix, and get it over with. I wanted to take it a step further and actually produce the records, even though I didn't make those beats. So I did this throughout the song. different speeds, slow right here, sped up at the beginning.
Evil, cold turkey, hot shit straight out the kitchen.
I wasn't really too fond of that after I heard it.
Fuck nigga, and they praying on her body with no holy water.
And also as a producer, when Doe asked me, should I lay ad-libs right there? I was like, nah, you don't need to. The reason why I said that is because the beat was already busy in of itself. So adding emphasis or spot stacks or stress words or end phrases, whatever you call it, that's what we did mainly.
Hey, I'm talking HalfTime, H-Town, half a brick shit, remix.
Actually put the delay on the main vocal. And then obviously, yes, I did put a phase on it, on the delay, right side phase, to make the delay sound spacey. Only drawback about this is that if it's on a mono speaker and you phase out this H delay, you won't hear the delay. Reason being is because it's only playing out of one speaker. This phase out feature of the delay only works if you have a stereo output. And at the time, phones didn't have that. They only had like one speaker at the time, but it's 2019 now, or 2018 going into 2019, and most iPhones, most Androids have stereo outputs, even if you turn it to the side. So even though it was a drawback, I liked how it sounded at the time. I still do use it from time to time, and I cut some of the low end and a bit of the high end frequencies out of that delay to give it a better sound and not sound so muddy.
Monkey ass nigga, how banana split shit. 50 rounds, 100 rounds, that's that drawn shit. Bam.
Also, I put a small slap back on the vocals, as you can see right here. I nudged this chorus slap back delay up some. And what that does is just gives it a really fast.
Show a monkey ass nigga how banana split shit. 50 rounds, 100 rounds, that's that drawn shit.
So if you can hear that, it sounds like he's in like a kind of a stadium type of feel. And I remember first hearing this on UGK's, I forget what it's called, but Pimp C he starts singing "You Ain't Never Seen." You ain't never seen. With that Curtis Mayfield sample. If you go back and listen to it closely, when Pimp C is rapping his verse, he has a main vocal and then he has a spot stack under it with the slapback delay turned all the way up.
You ain't never met a nigga like Pimp C ho. Before you come into my room, take off your shit at the door.
Which I thought sounded really dope. And even though this doesn't have the same feel as that UGK song, gives it a nice effect to the vocals.
I'm talking HalfTime, H-Town, half a brick shit, remix. In the drought, get your rich shit.
So the delays and all that with the chorus delay, the slapback delay, the regular delays, gives it some ambience, some depth to the vocals, and doesn't make it sound as dry without it. So like I said before, Doe never wrote anything down. He came into the studio, everybody was around, all CBM, laid this song down. Probably took a little bit longer because he was a bit distracted with everybody around. But maybe about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, which is still quick with him not writing anything down. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and until next time, send, mix, play.